past year, Hot Cares has had the privilege of making a meaningful difference in the lives of those around us, as well as meeting the needs of those in the community. We also recognize the hard work that others within our community do, from policemen to firefighters, as well as remembering those who have contributed their former years to uplifting others. Since Telethon 2017, Hot Cares has heeded the call, and we would not have been able to do this without your help.
A big thanks to each and every one of you who've helped us to make a meaningful and sustainable difference to the lives of those around us. Looking back over the past year, it's only through your help and your generosity of our listeners, our partners and our community that we've been able to make such a difference. From individual requests we receive every day through emails, Facebook, community pages, those who know us, through those little requests to large NPOs, NGOs who also come through to us and ask for our help in creating awareness for their different initiatives. We're proud and we're privileged that we can look back and see the valuable work we've done and the difference we've made. One of the major differences we've seen over the past year is the upliftment of the Shlali Sekani creche in Kai Sands. We work tirelessly with the community and the creche, and not in developing just a creche, but it's now developed into a community centre where it's not just for the children, but we've had eye care centres for the elderly, we've had mental health day awarenesses for the women in the community, and they've really embraced this new opportunity that they have. The Hot Cares team are always at the other end of the email, whether we're receiving sponsorships and contributions or nominations for other help in the community. So whether you can help or whether you know of someone who does need help, please send an email to hotcares@hot919.co.za and we will be in contact with you.
We have sought to make a meaningful difference in a spectrum of areas, including animal rescue initiatives, children's educational needs, and bursary partnerships with the likes of CISA, the Sage Foundation, and Guvon Hotels, to health and sanitary initiatives, and starting a weekly feeding scheme at the Randburg Methodist Church.
Hot Cares is going to take care of your bill here for a month, which is just over 12,000 Rand. And you've asked for medical equipment. So we're going to take care of that medical equipment that you asked for, including oxygen tanks that you requested from us and Hot Cares. And we also need to do something great for your two brothers, as well as your dad. And we're going to be providing you with a 5,000 Rand voucher to spend at Eastgate Shopping Centre, just so they can go out and about for a day. And I'll obviously get you some cool stuff as well.
That is fantastic news. I'm so grateful. I'm beyond happy. I'm over the moon.
My tourism teacher always used to tell us in class that hospitality and tourism is the gold of today and the future. So I decided to look for a better future in this industry. So I came across the Hot 91 FM ad for the bursary giveaway. So I decided to nominate myself and enter in the competition. I wrote my motivational letter and I got a call one day, surprisingly, that I was one of the top 4 finalists for the bursary giveaway. So I was in Durban at the time, came up on the weekend, and I showed up here, and it turns out I'd actually won the bursary. So that was amazing. It changed my life completely.
Hi, my name is Bokam Pamute, and I'm a Hot Cares recipient. And through Hot Cares, I've managed to finish my matric, and I'm hands-on at Hot Cares.
I've always believed that if you come into this world and you leave it, and you haven't made a change in any way, however big or small, then you shouldn't have really been here in the first place. I know it sounds a bit harsh, but I come from a culture of giving, originally from the Eastern Cape, from the Amaxhosa, from the British, from that whole background, and it's a very, very giving community. And when I first arrived in Johannesburg in the 80s, to me it was a really hard, harsh, raw, abrasive city. And when you start scratching, just gently, on a Joe Burger, underneath all of that brashness and harshness and everything I mentioned are the softest and most giving hearts. And that's the wonderful thing about working in a community like this. When we work together, we can make a difference to the lives of those who are not as fortunate as we are. A lot of people in the corporate world question why they should be looking at another charity, maybe outside the CSI initiatives that they're already involved in. I think one of the major opportunities here, this is really just to be absolutely realistic about what we offer as Hot Cares, is we offer an incredible platform that shares what you're doing with a community that cares about people who actually give to the community.
Hot Cares is there to stay. Hot 91.9 will carry on banging out the big hits. And hopefully you, our sponsors, our supporters, our listeners, will help us help the people that maybe need a little bit of help in Johannesburg.
Our Touching 100 Lives campaign saw us in honor of Mandela Day, taking the age-old culture of Ubuntu and steadfastly reaching within to continue to provide a sustainable framework. When tragedy struck Marina, her home and memories burnt down, your contribution helped Hot Cares to assist her in putting the pieces back together.
I have to say that with the support of good insurance, community, Hot Cares, with their corporate social investment policies, you are able to recover.
From my perspective, from my experience, I've never been so privileged to be part of something so, I want to say big. Yes, it was big, but more than that, it was meaningful. To see the people's faces, to hear people's stories and hear how little acts of kindness, little just kind of a push in the right direction, that little bit of extra help that we were able to offer because of your generosity, really just was extremely touching. And as I said, culminating in Mandela Day, of which we touched those gorgeous 100 lives on the day, the kids from the Khalisegani play group and the teachers. So I was on the team with the kids at the zoo, the kids and the staff at the zoo, and singing with the kids and seeing their faces, seeing wild animals for the first time, convinced that the wolves were dogs, I don't blame them, to see flamingos and zebras, to see the awe and wonder and the gratitude of a whole new world for them they'd never seen, you know, perhaps not even in books and in stories, you know, you kind of have an idea, they show you a picture, but to see them as real, alive fish, they were so enamored with the fish, only to come back to a completely transformed Khalisegani playgroup premises, immediately kind of immersed in the fun, the sports, the little bike tracks, the jungle gyms, patches of grass, things that they didn't have before.
Acts such as these require time, resources, services, infrastructure, and financial contributions, and are only possible through collaboration. We call on you to journey with us and pledge your support and contribute to more life-changing moments.
Changing 100 Lives made a huge difference to the recipients, but also I think to the presenters as well, because it really enables us to touch base with the community. And the great thing about 100 Lives is that we weren't really changing the lives. It's our listeners that were changing the lives, because it was their contributions that enabled us to make that difference. And going forward, it's something we want to do on a much more regular basis, because it really does change lives. Hot Cares, making a meaningful difference in the lives of those around us.
In celebration of Hot 91.9 FM's 4th birthday, we will be hosting our second Teddython on the 16th of November 2018. 1.5 million rand is the target. Will you answer the call?
Hot Cares on Hot 91.9.